I've seen the first 4 episodes of the 8. I absolutely want to watch the next 4 to see how this is all going to go.
Great.
I'm curious for both of you, and it could be this show, the answer. If someone has never seen anything you've done before, what is the first thing you'd like them watching and why?
Well, I mean, it's like talking about children, right? Like it's hard to say, and I think we're supposed to be talking about this.
Oh, that's why I include it could be this show, but it also could be something else.
I feel guilty saying this, but I think I would like them to see a movie I did called Behind the Movement, where I play Rosa Parks.
I saw that. It was wonderful.
I think that, but I mean, I'm also very proud of this project as well. But yeah, I think that's my answer.
Sure.
Yeah. It's difficult. I mean, this is my 47th year in this business.
Sir, I am aware. I am a fan.
I did do you know who Robert Flaherty was?
I actually am not sure if I do.
He was known as the father of the documentary, and he made a film called Nanook of the North.
Oh, I know Nanook of the North.
1922. Yes. I made a film about how he came to make that film. It had a very limited distribution, but it was an extraordinary experience to make. We were within 50 kilometers of the North Pole, and I lived on an icebreaker on the Bering Sea for 4 months, and it's a wonderful film that very few people have seen. That's why I would have liked a lot more people to have seen it. But that's neither here nor there, you know. I mean, I've done a lot of things that I'm relatively pleased with. Never 100% happy. You know, never.
It's not possible.
But, you know, one's enthusiasm for the current project, sometimes it lasts a bit longer and sometimes it doesn't, you know. But I mean, you know, when did we stop shooting this?
June or May of last year, 2022.
Last year, right. You know, and I've been really looking forward to seeing what's going to be on the screen because, you know, I know what was on the page and I remember the experience of making it and the people working on it. And, you know, I'd like to think that this ranks up there with the thing that I would like people to see most.
Yeah, it's hard to because we haven't even finished, we haven't seen the whole series. We just know what we read from the scripts and the experience of shooting it. We've seen, like you, a couple of the episodes, and I loved the scripts, and I had a great time shooting it. But I can't say until, you know, some time has passed and it's done. But it seems. I mean, I think we're going to be proud.
Oh, as I said, I want to see episodes 5 through 8.
Great.
Great.
So one of the things about this series is that it deals with private espionage. And I'm curious, how much do you think of what is being depicted on screen is actually happening in the real world?
I think this reflects quite accurately what is happening in the real world. I really do, you know, especially the misuse of personal data and the manipulation of people's personal data and the manipulation of, I don't know, the way corporations behave. You know, I mean, you know what Bilderberg is?
I don't know if I know what
Bilderberg is an organization that you hear very little about, but it meets about every 5 years, and it's a meeting of heads of corporations and heads and prominent ministers in governments, and they basically decide which way the capitalist West is going to go. This is what we should be doing. This is what we should be doing. You try to get information about Bilderberg, it's very difficult to get hold of it.
I will now be looking it up when I
will be looking it up. Bilderberg.
It's spelled how it sounds, Bilderberg.
I'm 100% looking this up. One of the things I enjoy about shows is when I watch a lot of television, and I like when I can't predict where things are going to go.
Right.
And one of the things about this series is you don't know when you're watching a character which way they're going to go.
No.
Right.
So I'm curious, what is it like reading scripts like that where you really don't know how it's going to play out?
Well, that's why we're here, because I remember reading, especially the first episode, and going like, "Oh, I know this." You know, that's what I do. I'm like you. I read so many scripts, so I start reading it, and I'm like, "I know this," and then I'm like, no, I don't. And then read it a little bit more. Oh, I really didn't see that coming. So it's really interesting. And then to kind of have to, from a creative perspective, justify, okay, wait, what kind of person is it who would present this way and then be that way? And what does that mean? So it was fascinating because it's so multi-layered.
It's quite alarming to begin with, because I prefer to be in my comfort zone. I have to be dragged out of it. But most of the time when I am, I just think, okay, got to go with this. Who knows? And it's a very interesting and quite exciting way to work, actually. When you're given a little bit of information, just enough to work with, just enough, and then you're given another bit, and then you're given another bit. It's fascinating, actually. Keeps you on your toes. You don't get complacent.
I'm curious, for soon-to-be fans of the series, what do you think they would be surprised to learn about the actual making of the show?
About the making of the show? Mm-hmm. How much are they likely to know about the making of the show?
Well, for example, what I like is I like learning about the behind the scenes of the making of a show.
Right.
And so was there anything unusual about this shoot or anything that, people might be surprised to learn?
For me, no. I don't. It was, the process of making a movie, whether it's on television or whether it's on the big screen, is more or less the same.
For me, maybe that there were two different cinematographers.
Did we only have two?
Yeah, we had only two different ones.
Okay.
And also the sequence, sometimes we would be shooting something and then we would jump to a whole different episode with a whole different director and then come back and shoot that same day and shoot with a different, the scheduling was a little in and out and already it's a little bit of as you were saying, a complicated script and so much change. So that was different.
Yeah, television I've spoken to some actors that can shoot 4 different episodes in a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Multi-episodically, yeah.
Yeah. It's but that's what I mean. Interesting things behind the scenes.
Yeah, okay.
But on that note, I got to stop. I'm just going to say I really do hope it's a huge hit for you guys.
Thank you.
And we'll talk more tomorrow.